And as a youth myself, I also like just want to know in general, what are your views on, the current youths in Singapore? What do you think about how they think, how they act, even the language that they use?
Okay, so I must first confess, Shah, that I may not know all the language. So like for example, I was a bit puzzled why my second daughter would refer to my youngest daughter as bro. This is your sister, why you call her brother? Okay, all right. Then the both look at me and like, okay. My sense is this, that having interacted with different groups of young people, both in the constituency, in the community, and also sometimes with the youth network, sometimes with the institutes of higher learning when they invite us for dialogues in schools, and also I think with my younger colleagues in MOF, MOT, and MAS. I feel that young people these days actually have many good ideas. And they are certainly, compared to my generation, better informed. They know a lot more. They travel a lot more, so their view of what's happening around the world and with the latest developments is certainly, I think, stronger than what my generation would be at that age. They are also, I think, more willing to try new ideas. So I take a lot of comfort in that. I think it's good that young people are willing to deviate from the more established paths, to forge their own paths, to be a pathfinder. I think that's very good, because if we become a society where we just wait for instructions and wait for people to lay out the path for us, and instead of forging our own paths, then we lack that sense of entrepreneurship and that sense of innovation. But I see these elements more strongly manifested in our young people these days compared to, say, my generation. There's also sometimes a concern when we talk to our peers, my age group, that, sometimes young people these days may not be able to take hardship, not resilient, cannot take criticisms, and I don't quite agree, actually, because when I deal with different groups of young people in different situations, whether in the community, in the government ministries and departments, or with my volunteers in my constituency, I don't think that's true. I think young people are resilient. They will overcome hardship, but they need to be convinced that this is a hardship that's worth overcoming. They want to be clearer what is the purpose of trying to overcome this particular challenge. They need to be convinced that this is something worth doing. Then once they are convinced, they actually go all out and put their hearts and minds into it and get it done in a manner which sometimes exceed our expectations. So I think what we need as the older generation, when we communicate with our younger colleagues, is to, when you refer to Xing Qi, Xing Qi is also younger generation lah.
I'm your age. Come on.
Okay, but he's certainly younger than me. So what we need to do, I think, for people who are working with younger colleagues is this. Spend some time to explain why we are doing this particular piece of work. What are we trying to achieve? What is the purpose of doing this? I think we need to spend a bit more time to explain that so that we convince our colleagues, and once they are convinced, I don't have to be too prescriptive in terms of how to do it. I can give them some freedom and some leeway. They will come up with many good ideas. But they need to first be convinced why this is worth doing. So I think that is something which is very important, to be able to get the maximum out of the potential of our youths. Sometimes we are too quick to just tell people, do this, without actually explaining why this needs to be done. So I think my own reflection is that we need to change the way we engage our younger colleagues, our younger residents, in order for us to connect with them better. But I have no doubt that our young people are also resourceful and resilient, and importantly, I think they also share, just like the previous generations, a strong desire to want to make Singapore a better place. And I think that you can see. They are driven by not just doing well themselves, but they also want to do good to help others.